Hey guys, it's Sam from Complete Balance here. We've got Tom here today who's going to be our model, and today we're just going to be showing you 3 exercises that we commonly integrate into lateral ankle sprain rehab. So first exercise here is we're going to have a banded calf raise. So here we're going to be doing a banded eversion calf raise. So we're promoting the heel of our foot to be kicking outwards. This is going to work on the lateral muscles around the side of our leg, which are commonly at a deficit following an ankle sprain. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a band set up medially on the inside of Tom's foot. So here he's going to be working his left ankle. So I'm just going to get Tom to step through here. Perfect. And just stepping all the way through. So I want to wrap this band around the back of his heel. So it's bending over his foot, around the back of his heel. Nice. Now ideally, I would get Tom here. I'd have a dot at the base of his ankle, a dot at this bony prominence on his foot, and a dot at the second toe. When I'm cueing Tom, I'm trying to get him to come up onto his big toe with all 3 dots in line. You don't want to see his ankle kicking outwards where the dots will be misaligned, or kicking inwards, the dots will be misaligned. So it's a nice external cue for people if you're struggling with it, to have a look at that. So from here, I'll get Tom coming up onto his big toe. Perfect. So here we can see Tom's nice and even. Coming up again, getting good height. He's not kicking out at the heel or kicking in. Coming up, we're holding there. 1, 2, 3. Nice and aligned. Now some people won't be able to get to full height on this, so Tom demonstrates it. So this is pretty common for people coming out of an acute ankle injury. So what we can do to bridge the gap is have Tom put his foot on a ledge here. So this is purely for balance, so it reduces the balance demand of the exercise, but also improves Tom's stability so he can focus, instead of just coming up into a calf raise and having to balance, on pure vertical projection. So Tom's just thinking head to the ceiling, getting up as high as he can. Nice, and he's able to regain that height. Perfect. So that'll be a nice early way to integrate some calf loading while also getting dynamic loading of the muscles around the ankle that are commonly damaged or inhibited following an ankle sprain. Next we've got Tom here, who's going to be, we're trying to get him used to absorbing weight in provocative positions. So before we're getting him, doing our calf raises and getting the ankle complex firing evenly, here we're going to try and use that dynamically and get the ankle complex firing together to try and keep a stable ankle. So what I'm going to get Tom to do here is place his injured foot. Nice. He's going to be in what we call an inverted position here. So his foot is rolled to the outside, which is where he would have injured it. So in this position, the structures on the outside of the ankle, which are damaged, are now being put under tension, and we're challenging their ability to remain solid and remain stable in a compromised position. So with this, I'll just get Tom to oscillate his body weight forward a little bit, and back, just where you feel comfortable there, nice, and then back. So going through a full range of motion, nice. So this is just a nice little way to introduce some load into that ankle complex. And if the Tom, say, felt pain here, he just stops. That's as far as we go. If he feels apprehensive, that's as far as we go. But as he gets more and more comfortable with it, we can put his back foot further back and introduce a greater range of motion. Nice. So here he's loading up that lateral ankle a bit more. He's having to coordinate stability at the knee and at the hip as well. So it's a nice way to just gradually introduce a compromised position to the body and get his body used to being in that position. And finally, we've got our third exercise, which is really about getting our individual used to absorbing weight through their injured foot. A lot of the time following ankle sprains, people will be very apprehensive about absorbing weight through that foot and getting in positions where they commonly injure themselves. A lot of the time that's that toe down position. So we're trying to expose them to this in a graded and gradual way. So the way that we can do this is by getting Tom to put his non-affected side up on the box. So through this leg to start with, probably gonna have like 70% of the weight. And can you just do like a little pogo for me? So like a little oscillation, nice. So here, this is a very entry-level loading position. Tom's starting to get some load to that rear foot, and he's getting that ankle used to absorbing weight. From here, Tom can come into a higher oscillation. So now he's absorbing more weight through that back foot, getting it used to great levels of stretch and then energy production, energy release I should say. Then to progress this, can you come back and forward for me? Like it would be if you're running and landing, guys. Perfect. How does that feel? Good. Nice. And then finally, we can also introduce some lateral stuff. So if you come back diagonally, nice. And something I'll do final stage rehab to clear someone to return to play, or one of the things we'll do to return to play, is I'll be telling you a direction, forward, back, side to side, and I want you to try and not go too far up and have too much time to react. Try and stay quite close to the ground and pushing through the ground. Okay. So we're creating a lot of force, but we're not coming up and having that time to think about it, we're just reacting while I say okay. Okay, so coming up, forward, now side, back, forward. Yeah, so it is quite challenging. So Tom is having to think, he's not having time to think, sorry, he's just having to react. So we're not having that anticipatory factor to the exercise, so it is quite a nice exercise to get people ready to return to sport.